Hello, this is Dr. Mears. Today we are going to be going over arithmetic sequences. We have a practice here and I am now doing your video answers. Here's the directions. For the following examples, find the first term, common difference, general formula, and specified term. Let's annotate these a little bit. The first term is going to be represented by u sub 1. So anytime you see u sub 1, please think of the first term. The word term, we can actually say number, because term and number are the same exact things. Our common difference is what we either have to add or subtract to get from one number to the next. Our general formula is going to be u, and that looks like an m, my apologies, u sub n equals u sub 1 plus n minus 1 times our common difference. That's our general formula all the time. And then specified term, this is going to be u sub n, where they will give us a number for n that we have to put into. Okay, now that we've annotated, let's see what our first sequence is. 4, 9, 14, so on and so forth. U sub 1, that's our first term, so they're asking us for our first number. Here, the first number that I see is 4. Our common difference. Common difference is how do we get from one number to the next? What do we have to count by to get from 4 to 9? What do we have to count by to get from 9 to 14? And it looks like I'm adding 5 here every time. So our common difference is going to be 5. Our general formula. So here's our general formula. The reason why I had you find u sub 1 is because we're going to be substituting it in. The reason why I had you find the common difference is because we're going to be substituting it in. So u sub n equals u sub 1, which is 4, plus n minus 1 times our common difference of 5. And I do put parentheses. I like using parentheses around this because sometimes our common difference is negative, and I don't want it to look like a minus. I really want to kind of hug the number to keep it all together. Okay, what term do we have to find? Find the 13th term. So what this means is if I kept going in this pattern, so we would go 19, 24, 29, so on and so forth. When I got to the 13th number, what would that be? So we could just keep adding 5 and get to the 13th number, or we can use our general formula. So our general formula is going to be u sub 13 equals 4 plus 13 minus 1 times 5. So what this is saying our 13th number is, and then we have to do this. Now we could do order of operations, or we could use our calculator. Let me turn off that light. And in our calculator, we can simply just put it in like I wrote it, making sure the parentheses are there, 4 plus 13 minus 1 in parentheses, times 5 in parentheses, enter, you got 64. So you don't have to take the time to do order of operations. This is not order of operations. So our 13th number is 64. And if you want to write that out mathematically, you can just simply put u13 equals 64, and this is your mathematical notation for that the 13th number is 64. So either way you want to write it is fine with me. Let's move on. 8, 9, 10. Here's our second arithmetic sequence. Okay, the first term is 8. What do we have to do to get from one number to the next? You have to add or subtract. It looks like we're adding 1 here every time, plus 1, plus 1. So our common difference is 1. Our general formula here, we're going to have u sub n equals u sub 1, which is 8, plus n minus 1, times our common difference of 1. So all I did is I just put the 8 in the common difference. Now let's use this formula to find the 10th term, or the 10th number. So if I just kept counting to get to the 10th number, where would I end up? So u sub 10 equals 8, 10 minus 1 times 1. We could do order of operations, or put it in our calculator, and when we do that, we get the answer of 17. So u sub 10, the 10th term is 17. So if I just kept counting 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, let's see if that's the 10th term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th term here. So we got it by not only counting, but we also got it using the general formula. Okay, let's see what's next. Number 3. 27, 20, 13s are arithmetic sequence. The first term that I see is 27. It's always that first term on the left. Our common difference. How are we getting from 27 to 20? From 20 to 13? It looks like we're going to be subtracting because our numbers are going down. And I'm thinking subtracting 7 every time. And I'm right. So our common difference is minus 7. Don't forget to put that minus there. It is now important. Our general formula, u sub n equals our first number, 27, plus always n minus 1, and then times our common difference. And this is where I'd like you to use parentheses definitely, because I don't want it to look like minus 7. I want it to look like times a negative 7. So be careful. All right, what do they want us to find? They want us to find u sub 8. So they want us to find the 8th term. So putting it into our formula, whoops, 27 plus 8 minus 1 times negative 7, and putting that into my calculator, u sub 8 equals negative 22. And there's my answer. Okay, let's go to the second page. For the following examples, find the general formula in the specified term. Okay. So they gave us different information. We don't have the sequence. We have u sub 1 and we have d. We have to find u sub 12. So the general formula is going to be u sub n equals the first term, which is 5, because that's our u sub 1. So remember, the first term is u sub 1, that's the first. And our common difference is going to be 4. So here we have our general formula, substituting in the first term and the common difference. U sub 12, putting the 12 where the n spot is, and writing it out, we get u sub 12, so I'm looking for the 12th term or the 12th number, and then substituting the 12 in here. We can do this in our calculator, and what we're going to get is, I believe, 49. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 49. Okay. Next, we have u sub 1 is 13. Our common difference is negative 7, or sorry, our common difference is minus 7. And then we need to find u sub 6. All right, so our general formula. Remembering to put those parentheses around the negative 7. Then u sub 6 equals 13 plus 6 minus 1 times negative 7. Negative 7. Please do not forget that negative 7 like I almost did. And then u sub 6 is going to be 58. So that 6th term will be 58. Okay. Next, number 6. The first term of an arithmetic sequence is 3, and the second term is 7. A, find the common difference. So I'm just going to annotate. This is the first term, first. So this is our u sub 1. Okay. The second term, second. This is actually u sub 2. So we use u sub 1 as the first, u sub 2 as the second. So it's going to look like this. 3, 7, dot, dot, dot. Okay. So our common difference. Well, how do you get from 3 to 7? You have to add 4. So our common difference would be 4. Okay, let's write down the first 8 terms. Write down the first 8 terms. So I'm going to have to count by 4. So 3, 7, 11, 15, 19, 23, 27, 31. There we go. And then we could do dot, 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 but it just said the first 8, so I'm stopping there. And then it says find the sum of the first 8 terms. So what this wants you to do, sum means addition. Add them up. So we're going to do 3 plus 7 plus 11 plus 15 plus 19 plus 23 plus 27 plus 31. And let's see what we get. 136. And here's our sum of the first 8 terms. This is what's going to be coming up. This is called an arithmetic series. Okay, number 7. Let us now extend our knowledge of arithmetic sequences. For each example, write the general formula for the nth term. So we have general formula. Remember, u sub n equals u sub 1 plus n minus 1 times our common difference. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have u sub 1 is 3 and u sub 5 is 11. So we have u sub 1 equals 3. Oh, I'm sorry. So we have u sub 1 is 3. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're missing u sub 2, u sub 3, u sub 4. Oops, and this is u sub 5. One too many, everybody. My mistake. So we have 3 blank spaces in the middle. For our general formula, remember, you need your first one and your common difference. So you're going to have to think about what numbers between 3 and 11 can we have so that I can get a common difference. So you might want to think about it. Like maybe pause this video right now to play a game with yourself to say, how can I get from 3 to 11? 3. So let's see. So we have, let's say we count by 2's. Okay, let's count by 2's. So that would give us 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Oh, I got it right there, didn't I? So that's counting by 2's. So was I able to fill these spots? Yes, I was. Okay. I mean, let's say that you didn't. Let's say that you went by 3's. Let's say that. You tried off 3's. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that would not have worked. Mine was a lucky guess right from the get-go. So I guessed and checked how I would get from 3 to 11, and I got it right my first time. So let's fill these in. 3, 5, oops. 5, 7, and 9. Okay. So now I can do my common difference, and I found that my common difference was positive 2. And I can write my general formula. U sub n equals 3 plus n minus 1 times our common difference of 2. That was funny. I tried to do a whole lesson and worked out that it was, maybe, you know what, I might not get it this time. Okay, let's do B, which is our last one. We have u sub 2 is 6. All right, so we have u sub 1, we blank, all right. U sub 2, which is 6. We don't have a u sub 3. We don't have a u sub 4. We do have a u sub 5. Blank. And u sub 5 is 21. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so let's see. It looks like this. U sub 1, blank. U sub 2, 6. U sub 3, blank. U sub 4, whoops, big u sub 4. U sub 4 and u sub 5 is 21. Am I correct? Yep. Awesome. All right. So again, you might want to pause this video and see if you can fill in the missing numbers. We know we have 2. What I would start with is, we have 2 missing numbers here. So we're going to take 2 jumps, 3 jumps. We know we are increasing because it goes from 6 to 21. But what number, constant, has to be a constant number do we increase? I'm going to try not to get this right. Let's try plus 3. Okay. So if we add 6 and 3, we're going to get 9. If we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So this would be here, this would be here, that would be there. We didn't need that last one. So does that work out? Does the plus 3 work out? Nope, plus 3 does not work out. We got to end up at 21. Okay, let's try 4. So we have 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. I have to wind up at 21. Did that work? Nope, that didn't work. I'm going to try plus 5. Let's try plus 5. Okay. plus 5. 6 plus 5 is 11. Plus another 5, 16. Plus another 5. Ooh, 21. Did that work? Yes, that worked. So we know that the middle numbers are going to be 11, 16, 21. And so what I did every time is I added 5, I added 5, I added 5. That was fun. Well, what do I have to add 5 to get to 6? You're absolutely right. You have to add 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. So I now have my first term and I have my common difference. So I'm ready to write my general formula. My general formula is going to be u sub n equals my first term, which is 1, plus n minus 1 times our common difference of 5. And that's my general formula. This has been Dr. Mears' arithmetic sequence practice. We extended our knowledge to incorporate series and also a couple challenge problems where we had to find the missing numbers. Hope this helped.